Hello, welcome to Long Island Weather Update. It's 9:30, January 15th. We finally see some snow falling outside, and maybe we'll actually get a few inches this time. It's looking like we will get a few inches this time. That's what it looked like out tonight. Road snow covered here in Mineola. This is Hicksville. You can see snow on the road. Yeah, we already showed you that one already. This is what it looked like in Farmingdale, because I was in Farmingdale today, this evening, and you can see definitely some snow coming down there, and it's just light snow, but definitely it is sticking to everything because it has been cold today. So let's look at the satellite. You can see here's our storm coming through. It's moving pretty quick. It's a pretty flat storm, but we are getting to see some snow over our area. We had plenty of clouds around throughout the day today, pretty much overcast. You can see a little ice on the smaller lake here. But let's go look at the radar now, and you'll see here's the area of light snow that we are. It's light snow. It's not that heavy. We'll put this into motion here, and you'll see here we got some light snow, a little heavier snow, maybe off to the south there. But we do winter weather advisories in effect for the area, as you see. I don't know. It's the whole area. I don't know why it wasn't showing that. All right, here we go. So we have winter weather advisories for the whole area for today and for tonight into tomorrow morning. So we have light snow tonight. And that's where we have an advisory level event today. So inland, we could see they're calling for 3 to 5 inches. I don't know if we're going to see that much inland. The Weather Service is being a little more bullish with accumulations. They think 2 to 4 inches. Honestly, I see a widespread snowfall of about 1 to 3 inches, with some isolated areas in the north getting a little more. So I'm not drawing out a map because it's going to be pretty uniform, I think, across the area. So let's look at our observations across the area, and you'll see first of all, look across the country. We've got a lot of wind chill advisories. For where the cold air is, you can see wind chill warnings even in some of these areas here, where the cold air is in the Midwest, and along that you can see where the front is and where the low is coming through. You'll see even some winter storm warnings in the mountains here, where there's heavier snow in the places like the lower Adirondacks. Yeah, so let's Adirondacks, Appalachians. You can see the really cold air here. That's, again, in the Midwest, still very, very cold here. 16 degrees there in some of these areas here, and single digits up further to the north. So some pretty cold Arctic air over here that we still haven't gotten into yet. But we have still cold today. Still only, I don't think it hit freezing today. So you can see temperatures right now in the mid-20s across the area with the winter weather advisory in effect. So let's go look at our highs and lows for the day. We'll start with the lows first. I don't think we had any radiational cooling, or maybe there was a little bit because it does show 18 at West Hampton. Other than that, lows generally in the mid-20s. Our highs, however, I don't think we made it to freezing. We did not. So we're below normal today. That's because those clouds came in. We got the cold air mass in place. So therefore, our temperatures kind of just stayed put, pretty much. Looking at the weather map, you see there is our low pressure system there right along to the south. So let's go look at the models here, and we'll first start with the GFS, showing you again this low here. And it's just going to be a weak low, not going to be that strong, but it's going to still have some precipitation around into tomorrow, and it could be mixed during the day. It could wind up mixing with or changing to rain. You can see that got us in the pink there, which means, or I don't know, I guess that's pink. So you can see that's where they've got some of the mixing going on, perhaps we could see, if we get that easterly flow. So let's go move this along here. See after that, the storm moves away, and then we have high pressure take control with fair and sunny weather tomorrow for Wednesday, and then the next storm takes shape here for Friday, which again looks kind of far offshore, and then behind that another bitterly cold air mass will follow. And hopefully we'll get into some of the more bitterly cold weather as we get toward the weekend. So let's go look at the shorter range models now. HRRR. And let's go to the HRRR, and you'll see the HRRR. So we have that light snow tonight. That's going to continue, and that's what we'll pick up probably 1 to 3 inches. Generally speaking, across the area. I think if you're further south, a little more New Jersey, you might get a little less. But then, unfortunately, during the day tomorrow, we see rain because that low pressure center is close to us, and therefore it'll bring in more of an easterly wind, and that'll bring in rain. So it might wash away a lot of the snow and kind of make things kind of slushy for tomorrow, which is not going to be fun. And then it moves away, and then we get into another, hopefully, some colder and clearer weather for Wednesday. Um, let's let's look at the model and see what total accumulated snowfall is for total snowfall. And you can see HRRR is not really giving us all that much. It's generally 1 to 3 inches generally, and that's what I agree with. But the Weather Service, they want to go with the NAM, which always tendency to blow things out of proportion. I'll show you the NAM here. So we'll go to the NAM 12, and you can see the NAM 12 is much more robust in the snowfall, and I think this is overdone. At least that's what I think. I think it's overdone. I don't think we're going to see 4 or 5 inches in the city. However, we should see our first measurable snowfall that we've had in nearly 2 years. Finally, bringing an end to our record-setting stretch of no snowfall of an inch or greater at Central Park, and I think we do accumulate more than an inch tonight. I think we should be able to, finally put that record to rest. Though it is a new record now for the longest stretch without any snowfall at Central Park. So this is the NAM, and you can see the NAM wants to again bring in. We'll go ahead and look at the NAM and see what its presentation is here. So here's the NAM, and the NAM. I mean, they both look pretty similar. You can see that rain there that we're going to get. That could wash some of it away. See, there's your low. And so, the reason why this is happening, and I'll go back to the HRRR, because they really look pretty similar. They just have different ways of of putting the snow in, I guess. I'll show you the dew points and wind flow tonight. So you can see we definitely have dew points below freezing. We have light west winds. They're going to go easterly. And that's the problem. We get an easterly wind tomorrow, and that's going to bring in the warmer air. Almost goes a little southeast, and that's going to bring in the warmer air and switch us over to rain. But if you're inland, that's where you'll see, like if you're over here, north and west, that's where you'll see, I think, more of the 2 to 4 to 5, maybe inch snowfalls. But other than that, I just don't see. I don't see a big snowfall event for us. The TV is really blowing out. Our first major snowstorm, no, it's a very minor storm, but people are making a big deal out of it because it hasn't snowed in 2 years. That's what's really crazy. So you can see behind it, the winds shift back to the west again, and then we get into some of this really cold air for Wednesday. Dew points below 0, likely. So it's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty. There's going to be some pretty chilly air for you Wednesday. And we'll look at our temperatures here behind the storm. And tomorrow you'll see that it goes above freezing, particularly Suffolk County, Jersey Shore. So a lot of the snow, if we do get a few inches, a lot of it's probably going to wind up melting, unfortunately. Maybe there'll be some around afterwards, but I don't have high hopes, depending on if we only get an inch or two, and then as we get toward tomorrow night, that's when the temperatures are going to start dropping into the 20s, and by Wednesday morning, we're only going to be in the teens. And then for Wednesday, we're not making it out of the mid-20s. Today we're up at 20s. Wednesday, I think we're only going to be in the mid-20s, so it's definitely going to be a lot colder on Wednesday than today. So going beyond that to the GFS here. Again, we'll visualize this on the GFS again. You can see that cold Arctic air coming in. It'll be with us. We see a little moderation Thursday. And then Friday, we see a little more moderation there. And then behind that second storm, which the GFS keeps offshore, another really bitterly cold air. Man, it's really dry air there. All right, temperatures. So we're staying below freezing. We're actually going to be, after the storm tomorrow, we're going to be below freezing Wednesday, Thursday, probably not making it much above 30. Friday, still around 30. And then by the weekend, and at night, we're going to have lows in the single digits potential, especially in the Pine Barrens, definitely teens. And then for Saturday, you can see we may struggle to make it up to 20 degrees, perhaps. Saturday is going to be pretty chilly. And Sunday, we see a little more of a moderation. So let's look at a few more models here as far as the next storm goes. said, I'm not going to make a big deal out of this storm because it's not going to be a big thing, a big deal. Nothing to make a big deal out of. I want to look at the next storm. Yeah, the next storm looks like it's a flat flow, so next storm may not get anything. So this may be the only shot for snow we have is what we're getting tonight, I think. But you can see it won't be much, and this is the icon here, and you can see it again. It kind of changes it over to rain. If that happens, then most of it's going to get washed away, unfortunately. So, that's the unfortunate thing of it. So, hopefully there'll be some pockets on the ground, but again, it won't be much. I'll tell you that right now. So let's look at our skies. So obviously, we'll have the clouds around tomorrow, but by Wednesday we should clear it out, have mostly sunny skies, maybe some stratocumulus. We'll have to watch out for some lake effect debris and stuff like that. For Thursday, we cloud over again. Friday, we'll be back in the clouds, but then Saturday, hopefully, we can clear it out again, or maybe Sunday, clear it out again. It looks like it's going to be pretty cold both of those days. Other than that, I mean, when would our next chance for snow be? Well, let me go to the RGM first, then I'll get that. So, RGM, or it says the RGM. You can see it clearing out tomorrow night. And then here's Wednesday, looking pretty clear, though there could be some clouds over eastern Long Island, perhaps. And then Thursday, we'll have the cirrus clouds rolling ahead of the next system. All right, now I'm going to go to Conus View, and I'll look at the GFS. See what happens beyond this. So this is, again, now we have another high built in. And then we get kind of a crappy pattern again where you can see not really, maybe a little bit of cold air toward the end of the period, but nothing really major. I don't really want to go too much in the long range here, so let's look at a few more models here. Ventu Sky, and we'll look at, this is the HRRR, so we'll go to the snow cover here, snow cover map, and I'll move this to tomorrow here. Let's get this to 2 o'clock, 2 in the morning. This kind of gives you a snow cover here. All right, so you can see 2 inches, 2 inches. I mean, there might be a belt over here. It's indicating where there could be a little more. But again, it's not going to. And then when the rain comes, we're probably going to get rid of a lot of it. Unfortunately, we have that rain. There might be 0.4 inch out in Suffolk County, maybe 0.7 inch in Tom's River, maybe, but it won't be all that much. 0.4 inch, 0.4 inch. So it really won't be a lot. But hopefully there'll be something left on the ground. Hopefully, unfortunately, it sucks that we're going to have that warmer air move in and change things to rain. But that's what's going to happen tomorrow, unfortunately, because of the track of the low. If it was a little more offshore and we didn't have the east wind off that warm water, but I was telling you yesterday we have that warm water offshore, east winds. So once the winds go east and on shore, that's going to bring in the warmer air. And the model could actually wind up getting warmer than the models predict for tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be going above freezing, but then after that we're going to be below freezing for at least 3 or 4 days after that. So let me go to windy.com, which is our next model we can look at for snow. And this is the European, so we can look at the precipitous snowfall. New snow, let's see what it has. Next 3 days, 3.4. So this is the high end of it, 3.4. So that's what I'm thinking, 1 to 3 inches. I think that's fair, 1 to 3 inches. Should cover most of everybody. I don't see the real need to even draw up a map, because I think generally it's going to be pretty uniform that you're going to have the 1 to 3 inch amounts. Because, inland it may not change over to the rain, but the precipitation won't be as heavy. So that's why I think it's just going to be general 1 to 3 inches for the general area. So, an advisory level snowfall basically is what we're looking at here. I guess I'll wrap it up here. So thank you for watching, and enjoy this snow tonight. Hopefully we'll, it won't rain, isn't it? But rain too much tomorrow. But if it does rain, then a lot of it's obviously going to get washed away. Right now though, it looks pretty. I'll tell you that. But we just have a little coating out there right now. It's going to take another couple of hours, probably once we get toward maybe after midnight, and maybe we can eke out an inch on the ground, and then maybe another inch on top of that by sunrise. Maybe this is pretty light snow. Again, it's not that heavy. We'll look at the radar here. We'll show you. It's very light. You can see it's very, very light snow. And it's not really going to be very heavy. It's powdery too, by the way. So it's just very, very light. Pixie dust like snow, I guess you could say. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. And again, winter weather advisory is in effect. for tomorrow because we have, again, the snow and the roads could be slippery, could be slushy, especially in the morning. So, take it slow. And that's going to wrap it up now. So have a good night.